Hello everybody, it's Nikki. So to follow on from last week's week 1 of the Margaret Miller Collage Collage weekly assignments, this is week 2. As I mentioned last week, I'm very new to this, so my take on it is quite different to some other people's. Just to reiterate, I don't buy magazines, so I can't use magazines, but basically I'm going to just use the stuff I've got. Sometimes that'll mean, you know, printing off digital stuff, which is something I do quite a lot. But anyway, so this week's prompt is, let's move that out of the way, an object with jewellery or an adornment, a light source you find interesting, something stapled, something found in a garden, a receipt, and for the bonus, a black ink stamping. Now, most of these are quite easy for me. There was a couple of bits that were throwing me, believe it or not, the receipt, but because we don't keep receipts or we don't get them necessarily physically nowadays, we tend to get them digitally sent by email. Anyway, so I'm going to go back to my book. Go back to the book that I started with last week, and I've got all my bits and bobs on here. And the first thing we have to do is, let's just move this out of the way. It's probably the first thing we have to do. First thing we have to do is to put some pattern paper. That's a standard part of the whole thing, is that we put some, and she actually calls it, use a scrap piece of paper. So I have actually dug out some of my scraps. I don't know when I use these. As you can see, they are bits offcuts. But I thought, because there's something about gardens in there and adornment, so I thought I would just use these. Now, this one has got dots on the back. That's green, but I just thought it happened to go with it. So my view is this. I think what I'll do is I'll start this off and just tear this around the edges so it looks okay, so it looks, and this completely kind of goes against the grain for me. This is why I'm doing this. It's teaching me to be trying not to line things up and have, you know, everything has to have a straight edge, and you know, so I think I'll do, oh, that's not very good, is it? But it'll and in fact, what I was going to do was cut it on my guillotine, but this is actually really thick card. So there you go, and then we could just do a bit down there. I like the tearing towards you because you get the white edge on it. I think that's quite cool. Okay, and I might even ink it. So that's probably too much of a white edge. So anyway, I think I need to move this up a bit. That's better. So I think what I may do, I don't think these are in any order, these butterflies. Or I don't think I'll use that. Or try a bigger piece. No, I think that's fine. That's fine. Now, whether to ink the edges. I could ink the edges, and I think I will, actually. So I'm just going to ink the edges with a bit of Vintage Photo, Distress. Now these, well, that's not too bad. When I bought my Distress inks, I've bought these pads, I've had them for years now. I never bought the re-inkers, and to try and buy re-inkers for them now, for all the ones I've got, it would cost an absolute fortune. So, and hence this one's is old. It's my original, very first one I bought, so I've had it absolutely years. But anyway, so there's the background. We'll stick that on. Okay, let's use I'm going to get my bigger pot of ink out, actually, because I got the fine one out, but I think I'm just going to get the bigger one out. That's it. This is just Collage glue. I do have other glues, but prefer for the base where everything's going to be sitting on it, I'll use this one. I'll buy a bigger bottle and decant it. Anyway, let's stick that on there. Yeah, so for me, it's like doing this. It's just like it's quite testing, to say the least. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is, if I'm going to do it in order, is an object with jewellery adornment. So for me, I had this in my stash. It's just a I don't know, I probably got it, I don't know where I got it from, because I actually don't buy things like this. I've never dealt with jewellery. I don't, you know, other than wear it, but I've never bought it or anything. So what I thought I would do is, I've got these little bits of ribbon, so I thought what I would do is, just to make it a little bit more interesting, is put these, fix it on like that, either with both or one. So let's just go for it. And this is just general stash stuff, probably hobby craft, I would have thought. Stick that in there. Well, have a look. Stick that in there like that. In you go, that's it. Okay. Now I can do one or two things. I can certainly cut that off and make it a bit shorter, but I could do one or two things. One of the items we have to do is something stapled, and I could staple that in, but I need to decide where I was going to put, because I actually was going to staple this in. I've got this ribbon which I was going to staple in, which I still can do. There's nothing stopping you from stapling more than one thing, but I think initially what I'll do is I'll glue this and then see how I feel about stapling that after. So I've got this glue, hopefully it should, if I put a lot on. Now, do I want it in the middle? Yeah, stick it in the middle. I think it takes a while to dry, and then I'll take a view on cutting some of that, some of the ribbon off, and obviously that's going to take a bit of time for it to work. So let's do my lid up. Okay, so the thing that I found the most interesting was a light source you find interesting. Now, I absolutely adore, although I don't have any in this house, I did have in my previous life, but I adore chandeliers. I just think they're beautiful. If you can get a lovely crystal chandelier, I just absolutely love them. So, so my light source initially was going to be a stencil of the sun, but I thought, no, what I'll do is I'll make it the chandelier. Now, what I've done is I've printed some pictures of chandeliers off, and I'm basically again just going to rip round it and probably make it a focal point there, because the other bits and pieces I want to add on. Okay, so I've had a little look. I didn't like the first one I printed. It was too dark. That was the first one I was going to do, and I felt it was a bit too dark, whereas this one, I can stick it there, and I just thought that rather than just stick it in the middle, I think I'll stick it over there in the corner. I just love chandeliers. I just think and gives you such an amazing light source. So I'll stick that down. I think I won't use, because that's photo paper, so I won't use the wet glue. I think I'll just use this. Actually, I need a piece of paper underneath this. Let's stick it under this, because otherwise your mat gets ruined. That's it. So this is weird glue. I'm not very good with these stick glues, but I think it works. I'm just not very good with it. And I think one thing you have to make sure is that you get complete coverage. So I had a bit of a tissue here, a bit of kitchen roll. And in fact, if this was not this book, I thought I'd use this book just because it's been lying around for such a long time. If I'd thought about it with putting embellishments in, excuse me, I won't be able to do much of that in the book because I think it's going to be it's already going to be a problem. The only thing I could do, I suppose, is take the cover off and recreate another one. Okay, so that's my light source. Something stapled. So I thought for something stapled, I would do something like that. But what I want to do before I do that, I need to do the Something Found in the Garden and the black ink stamping, because my idea for the black ink stamping is this stamp set. I love this. This is an echinacea. I love it. But I think it's just far too big for the book. However, that stamp says flower. So I could stamp that down there. Where all these bits of fluff are coming from. I could stamp that down there or on a corner there, because that's Something Found in the Garden. And I'll stamp it in black ink and it should come up okay. So with that in mind, it's the Something Found in the Garden. I've subscribed to a couple of these Your Creative Studio books, but at the time I wasn't doing anything with journaling or anything, so these were just kind of sitting around. And I thought this was quite nice because it's got birds in it, as opposed to using flowers. Birds, butterflies, flowers there. So I thought I would just use perhaps one of these, but perhaps something that will go in with this colour scheme of this strange green. Okay, I found one. I think this one's quite nice. I think I'll cut round him. I'm sorry, I'm going to cough. Okay, so what I'll do is I think I'll just cut round him slightly, just to give it a bit of shape really and dimension. I haven't decided where I'm going to put him yet, so let's go around. I could get those berries in and just make it a bit more fluid, I think. That's it. Okay, he could go there. I think he looks quite nice there. It's a shame that's not up a little bit higher. In fact, if I cut that down a little bit, it won't be so noticeable. Oh, nearly cut his head off then. Let's take this. Okay. Ah, that's perfect. So that's Something Found in a Garden. I may also, I also have this, but I think with how deep that embellishment is, I did have a butterfly that I was going to use, but I've got loads of butterflies that I could actually stick on. So let's go for this. Let's move everything out of the way because it's all a mess, isn't it? Let's move everything out of the way. I do want to use the ribbon. Where's my gluey page that I just had? What have I done with it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's just glue that. Okay. So I was going to do it like that because that was the edge of the thing. Let's pull it down a little bit. There you go. He's nice. Something Found in a Garden. I could put, I did buy one of these books. Let's see what else there is. That's a chandelier there. But anyway, there's another bird there. But unless I can find something else in this little book, because I think I like the colours in this book with a bird or something. Flower. I could cut this flower out. Oh, there is a bird. Let's have a look. do have in up here some a little thing of butterflies that I could use. Let's have a look what's in here. Well, it looks more like a moth. So that's quite nice. I think that quite goes with it. I think I might use that. I'll see what this looks like when I try and cut this flower out. Find the scissors. I was going to stick it down there. Let's see. Oops, drop that on the floor. That could go there. We'll leave the butterfly for now. We've got butterflies in the background, so okay. Line that up there so that doesn't look funny. But it's quite a neat one. Oh, that's good. And I normally use a stamp press, so I'm a bit rubbish at stamping like this, and I've kind of got to decide where I want to put it as well. I think I might stamp it off first, actually, because not onto there. I'll stamp it off onto here first. Let's see, yep. Because I've not stamped it before, so oh, ha, look what I've done. Okay. Okay, where shall we put this? I think we could put it there. Now obviously, I don't know if it's pressing on that. When you've got lots of dark black area, F is for flower. That's always a risk, but I think what I'll do, I've got it here, some a pen. Is this it? A brush pen, and just it looks quite nice actually. Just a micron pen, nothing special. Okay, so F is for flower. Now something stapled, so I'll keep going back to this, but I really like the colour of this, but I don't have to put a lot on there. I think probably, where shall I put it? I could put it over here. I could scrunch it up. Let's cut a piece. Let's scrunch it up because it's on a wire, so I could staple that on, which is what I'm going to do. And I've got my Tim Holtz tiny attacher here. If this doesn't work, what I'll do, and the only thing is it's going to, so last week's that was last week's one. I don't want to staple through to there, but what I can do, I can get a piece of card, and staple it onto the card, and then glue the, that's a bit of the wire, so give it a bit of interest. That's it. Because it doesn't say actually something stapled into the book, does it? It just says something stapled. go. That fits the bill. I just need something to glue it onto, which is perfect. That's fantastic. In fact, I might make it a bit more stapley. There you go. And then that can go there, and we'll use just ordinary glue for that. Use the Collage, as it's quite hard wearing. Okay, I'll stick that there. So what have we got? We've got an object of jewellery, a light source, something stapled, something found in the garden, these two, a receipt, and the bonus black inking. Right, black stamp. Okay, so I do have a receipt. I don't think I'm going to show the whole thing because it was a meal we went out for, but I think what I'll do, shall I? I'm not sure really what we should, how much of it you should show. I'm not precious about this receipt, to be honest, so I could just cut it up. I think that's what I'll do, and I think I will use. I'll use this. So this was it may appear very expensive. Well, it was expensive, but it was for 3 of us, and it was a treat. So let's do, I think what I'll do, and then I think I might, that's it. Let's do that. Let's do a bit of inking. Where's my... I haven't inked everything. I don't ink everything. I think sometimes to ink everything is a bit over the top. But I think if you just want it to look a little bit shabby chic, just got to decide where I'm going to put it. Okay, so bring this forward. I think I can stick that probably up there, put it, fix it under there. That's just a bit close. Let's just, oh, I'm a fuss pot. This is supposed to be unfussy, isn't it? So let's just take a little bit off. That's it. And that can go there. And that's our receipt. Wonderful. Okay, so do that there. It's a good thing with Collage, it does go more quickly. So it's a much, the one from last week is completely covering. Oh yeah, I've got to put this on, so I do need to ink this up as well. I'll just go around the edges. Just a quick, there you go. There you go. And that is week two of the challenge. So I think, where am I going to put this? I think I will put this, I might need to cut them corners off. put it there, couldn't I? Yeah, cut the bottom off. So, an object of jewellery or adornment, a light source, something stapled, something found in the garden, flowers and birds, and the flower stamp, a receipt, and that's the bonus back stamp, which is the which says flower. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just cut the bottom of that off because I want to stick that there. But what I'm also going to do is cut the top off. That's not particularly straight. That's it. And then ink it again. And there you go. That will get glued onto there. I don't want to hide the bird, so let's do that. Okay, stick that up there, and then I'm going to leave those dangling, and then if anybody wants to read it, I'm going to cut the bird's head off. There you go. Cool. So let's glue that. Let's glue that. There we go. I'm loving this. It's so quick. It doesn't take ages to do. And I love gathering all my stuff together. So that's it. Move everything out of the way. Put the book back in the right position. Zoom in. Oh, sorry. There you go. There's week 2. Week 2 of the Margarete Miller collage assignment, and I hope you think my take on it is okay. It's good. I might go around these a bit with brown. I won't go over with that, but and hopefully it's definitely more collagey than last week. That was my first ever one, so and I like it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.